Shadowverse.
Greetings, I'm Shad, and gentlemen, there is a test I've been wanting for a while. Wanting to do for a while, should I say. But to understand where it all started, I need to give you a bit of background. Okay, do you guys know the show Ultimate Warrior?
Yeah,
that old show where they pitted one soldier type of culture against another.
and they always got stuff wrong.
They got a lot of things wrong.
Yep.
But it was also fun. But, okay, so the Samurai came out, right? And everyone wanted to see Samurai versus Knight. That's what we wanted to see, right? But then they put the Knight versus a pirate. And it's the only warrior that's using gunpowder weapons, right? And of course, and they didn't let the knights use any gunpowder weapons. So of course the knight loses, okay? And then come the finale, do you know who they disqualify because it would be unfair because they're using gunpowder weapons?
Yeah.
The friggin' pirate!
Yeah.
It's outrageous! Yeah. I was so pissed. Okay, anyway.
So welcome to the video. Today we are going to be...
I needed to think about that.
We're going to be testing...
They did Samurai versus Viking. That was the Samurai one, right? And it wasn't Spartan. But that was... Anyway, okay. They showed the Katana go up against the chainmail halberd, all right? And when I was watching that, I was like, to test the incredible power of the Katana, right? Was to actually fairly put it up against a full kit of medieval armor, all right? Because medieval armor, what are the special things about medieval armor? Is that it covers a decent amount of the body.
It does, and it's very good.
It's pretty good.
Very
pretty damn
effective.
Good steel.
Yes.
Yep. Good coverage.
Yep.
Now, samurai armor, as we kind of saw when we were looking at samurai armor here on the channel, had some gaps.
Different weapon. So it made sense.
And it made sense for like archers. It's such really good archery armor. But for like soldier in the thicker battle armor, okay, there was some things. And what I wanted to see is like, all right, what if we gave someone free reign? All right, just here is a set of medieval armor. Here's a katana. See if you can do whatever damage you can. Let's see. They didn't do that on Ultimate Warrior.
No, they didn't. They didn't.
That's why we're going to do it right here. So let's go show you what we prepared.
Isn't that one of the sharper ones that we've got?
Oh yes, yeah.
He's pretty well armored.
This is the thing. It's not full plate armor.
No.
This would be considered actually kind of mid-range armor.
Yeah, but
for
this is still
high medieval period.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
This is still high medieval because you've got gambeson, you've got padded coif, you've got a barbute helmet, riveted mail, which was the normal type of mail, and a breastplate.
Yeah, and so, like, one of the big distinctions is this really big chainmail halberd, right underneath, right? This gives full coverage, and then breastplate over top, gambeson underneath.
He's pretty well covered. Well, there are weak points, don't get me wrong.
I mean, not many.
Exactly, not many.
And this is really, it's mid-range, but it's still really damn good.
This is a well-earned man-at-arms get-up, really. So you're seeing if a lower-class knight or a higher-class man-at-arms would be able to do this. Like, this wouldn't be your poor...
Not poor, but not rich. It's mid-grade, which I feel is fair.
A little higher because of the breastplate.
Maybe. But I mean, like when you get to late medieval period, there's a lot of second-hand armor around that you could get on the cheap. Okay,
that is true.
So it's very reasonable that even a poor soldier could inherit or just get his hands on a munitions grade breastplate that was lying around.
I feel really sorry for that katana.
Oh, well, this is the thing. This is what I want to test, right? So you got a guy decked out in this, and a samurai comes in. Now, look. We know that katana was not the samurai's main weapon. Their main weapon was the bow or spear, okay? But it's pop culture that has inflated the status of the katana so much. And by the way, even the katana wasn't even the main weapon during the contemporary period of Japan versus medieval Europe. It was the tachi, all right? Which would be a bigger, more serious battle kind of weapon.
I'm going to nod and agree because that part of history I don't know.
All right.
But I think that this is not going to fare well because it has a very fine profile. It's one of the sharpest blades we've got. So it goes down to a very fine edge. And when you get a fine hardened edge and you hit it against armor angling, speaking of which, you're going to need this.
Absolutely, because it's the thing, right? So pretend the samurai only has the katana. That's all he's got. And he comes up against a properly armored medieval knight. What damage could he really do with conventional attacks with a katana? Like the only vulnerable area really is the face. But let's pretend the guy, the knight, he's not going to let them just get a free hit on the face. So,
It's like a boxer. He's just moving around.
So I'm going to try and land what some of the most common strikes you'd be able to land against a soldier. So maybe some arm strikes, things, head,
45 down,
chest thrusts and things.
Okay. Now,
And the question that I want to is like, could you even injure the knight at all? Period.
Now, because of safety, I know it seems like safety glasses aren't enough, but if we start talking proper safety, I'm going to want you to buckle up that throat, because this area, if the blade breaks, it's
I'll be wearing protection.
Yep.
Okay.
But a HEMA mask won't quite cut it. I think glasses will, because it covers.
So, and then we're going to go a bit ham and just say, all right, barring the face strike, because the knight they'll be trying to protect everything. Could you get through and do damage in any part?
No chance.
Like that's what I'm.
No chance.
That's my feels. I think this is near invulnerability versus. By the way, not just a katana. A lot of medieval swords, but
we say invulnerability. You may have broken and bruised bones.
maybe that's the only thing. But
Not here, but
not
here
here,
maybe.
Maybe you could break a collarbone. Maybe I'd grant that. But there are certain swords that are made to be able to actually puncture chainmail and gambeson.
And that's not one of them.
This isn't one of them. This is not a sword optimized for getting through armor. And so that's what we want to... I kind of already expecting the results. Maybe we'll surprise ourselves. But even if it confirms it, it's to demonstrate how powerless certain weapons are against proper armor.
I reckon you get suited up. Let's get started.
Okay, so this is a carbon spring steel blade.
Yes.
This is stronger than what a traditional katana would be that was traditionally made. Look what it did to the edge. Like, I think we damaged the blade more than the armor.
This is all fixable. This is all reasonable. This is not normal operating. Like, this is not catastrophic.
Yeah.
Now, what we should mention is these hits here are not under normal operation. This is closer to a LARP grade helmet.
Thin.
Whereas if you want to see what actual armor would look like, more like this that we've used in the previous video. And you can see that you've scratched it the most.
Not a single strike got through, didn't get through the chainmail on dedicated, powerful thrusts.
In fact, I think this type of a crest, under normal circumstances, if this was strong, has a chance of actually breaking that blade because it's trying to cut over a flex, which means the blade eventually slips down.
Do you want to go, Tyrant?
Why not? So, first up, let's say this again, just to reiterate. This helmet is not like combat grade, okay?
Yes.
It's more LARP grade.
If you want to see the same type of shots, it did, but you want to see the same type of shots, look at what's happening here, and it'll give you a bit more of a reference.
And
now,
you got a shot, what, just above the chainmail?
right there, I busted the link there.
You busted the link.
Okay.
So that one at the throat would have...
Like by how much?
I got the tip in.
Got the tip.
I busted the link, got the tip in, and it went in between the gambeson as well. So
But
that
it wouldn't have gotten through the gambeson.
Yeah, now this pattern
Probably not.
This
Probably
pattern is called a 1 in 4. So if you bust one link, sure, it's going to pop that circle open. Now you have 4 links around it holding it in place. So it'll stop it getting really, really through.
So in some of the places here, you can see where you can see the slash across there. Some of the links are a little bit further apart, but I haven't, for the most part, like busted through them.
Yeah, technically no strike got through and pierced the skin underneath.
Yes.
I think
That would have hurt.
One of the most vulnerable
That would have
ones
hurt.
would have been the strikes here. I reckon you could break a collarbone.
Yeah.
Right? But that's about the most you could do. Other than that, this was rendered basically inert.
Yes, all the stuff on this breastplate here, I mean, none of them got through. When it came to the chainmail, it's bones, that sort of stuff would have been broken. You know, maybe get some through some links here and there, but it didn't get through the gambeson. So,
and like, if we were to upgrade this to full plate, no broken collarbones, really no break in anything, because that's the plate deflects that blunt force.
Less chance.
I mean,
less chance.
You need a hammer to transfer blunt force through plates.
now looking at the sword here, let's have a look.
Oh, he messed that up.
But all of
It's
this,
still usable.
Yes, this is all still like you could just chuck this onto a sharpening stone and fix
Never
fix
been in
up.
pristine condition. But
And if you're in the middle of combat, that's still a perfectly fine blade. You don't have giant chunks missing that's going to get caught or rip up.
But that is because it's modern spring steel.
Okay.
If that
Okay.
was a differentially hardened, very high Rockwell Tamahagane blade, we would be seeing massive chunks gone out of that.
This just becomes a serrated katana.
Well, we're already getting there. We've got some little tiny chips.
We are. But I honestly expected this to survive as it is, but I did not expect that to survive as it has. Regardless of whether it's modern steel or not, it's still very thin and very sharp.
By the way, for the price of this sword, this is one of the better performing affordable swords we've ever reviewed.
Off the top of my head, 175,
Yeah,
180
from
bucks.
Romance of Men. They sent this sword to part of the review of the samurai armor, and I've really liked it. They came very sharp.
I dig it.
Yep, and it's held up to some pretty solid abuse, like for what it was. But this is what I was expecting. Medieval armor is no joke, and it covers a lot of the body.
Yeah.
Like, all right, so yeah, the only people say, well, of course, that's why you go for the gaps. The point is, there's far fewer gaps on this. The only option you have is the face, and that's kind of it. Like, if you're fighting someone this armored, or I would expect the legs to have some type of armor, but
Not always. A lot of the time it was padded, or you did sometimes have chain trousers.
But because also it's easy to defend the legs, or you just slip it back a bit and
You can indeed.
and so if you were fighting someone like this, right, and all you had was a katana or similar type of sword, like you would have as much you would have as much trouble with a messer, right, or a falchion against armor like this. It would stop it completely. It worked. That's why people wore it. So what you would have to do is do what they did in history. You'd probably have to grapple him, pin him, get
And
a
then
knife,
And in through the slots.
because you couldn't even like a knife. Really hard. It would be so hard to bust chainmail Hallberg with a knife. People say, because
With a rondelle, a specially made knife to do that.
you would need such a powerful,
But you still
can, but it's hard to land such a powerful strike like that in combat, especially when you're close and you're just trying to.
That's true. So you just aim for the gaps.
Exactly.
Just aim for the gaps.
You would need to grapple him, pin him, dagger him through the face. And that's what they did. Because this is the other thing, right? A lot of full plate, people say just go for the armpits on full plate. They usually had chainmail.
They did.
It's not just, easy, just go for the gaps.
And they did have steel rondelles as well, protecting those areas specifically, which are small discs.
Yep.
This looks like a lot of armor. I wonder how awkward it would be to actually take this all off and put this all on, because I feel like I've drawn the short straw today. You guys have got to swing that around, but I haven't had a chance to play with much. So I kind of want to try all this on.
It would be interesting to see you try and put this on.
It's a lot.
Do I then get to hit him with the...
No, that's a sharp sword.
Okay.
No.
What people can do.
But I can't get through, so you'll be safe.
No!
Well,
I like my collarbones.
Yeah, broken collarbones here. Exclusive content. What we'll do, Nate, you can explore this armor, trying it on for our supporters. Thank you to everyone.
For you guys, I will.
And genuinely, when I say ad revenue's been the worst it's ever been, it's even gotten worse. It's even worse.
Yeah.
Dramatically so. But what has improved are our supporters, you guys. And thank you so much. It's only thanks to you guys you've been getting better, because if it wasn't for you, genuinely, if it wasn't for you, we would have had to fire Nate.
What?
You guys are the ones who make that possible.
Exactly. Nate. Sorry, if we had to fire someone, you have to do. Look, we love you, Nate. It's just that
So thank you guys.
I need
Thank
to
you
beat
guys for
Tyrant
supporting.
in more push-up competitions, and he has a couple of other things. Like Nate's he's been around the block a bit, Sometimes we put him out to pasture. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
If you want to see me beat Tyrant in push-ups, there's also exclusive content.
There's literally 2 seasons of behind the scenes content, all just waiting for you guys. Discussions, in-depth topics, reviews, even going like with Katana stuff and mail, you name it, it's all there waiting for you guys.
So genuinely, thank you guys. Thank you for helping us keep Nate employed. Really everyone. Look, the truth is everyone employed here, right? And if you want to see us, you know, Nate put all this on, become a supporter, channel memberships, Patreon, subscribe, star or player, multiple platforms, under $5 a month. You help us keep the lights on. Thank you. And this video has been fun. This is, but I think we've proven the concept. Like we damaged the sword more than the armor.
Just before we finish out today's video, I thought, why not do some cuts with the blade that we have just smashed against the medieval armor?
Well, semi-ruined, but it's still a functional blade. Well, hopefully it's going to be a functional blade.
This isn't ruined for the most part. Like, we've got some chips here, sure, but they're very shallow chips, especially compared to when you can like chip big gouges out.
You can take chunks out of a blade, and hopefully it will back up what we're saying with, yes, the medieval armor is absolutely going to withstand sword strikes, sword stabs, everything. But it's still a functional blade afterwards.
Well, I'm a little bit more impressed by this, because obviously we expect nothing's getting through the armor. That's what it's for. But this blade here, 180 US,
which is a good price for a katana.
It's on the cheaper end of katanas, very cheap, and it was very sharp when it came, and it held up to that without like obliterating itself.
It is. Now, when we say very cheap, we only mean price. In regards of quality, it's doing good, as Tyrant just said.
So its price,
it's not a cheap sword, but it's definitely cost efficient.
We'll do some pool noodles, we'll do some water bottles like we usually do. Now I want to make this clear that like this would still be able to cut flesh, tear flesh.
Yes.
It's just not razor sharp anymore. So let's see what it does on our usual cutting mediums. There we go.
Not bad, just a weak little cut. Let's try something a bit stronger.
Here are some of the bottles, just so we can go over these very quickly. Yeah, I mean, like, we were able to get some cuts. Well, I was able to get some cuts. I had one explosion.
Yeah, I got a lot of cuts and a lot of tears.
Yeah.
So there was one that I cut a lot closer to the suba. That cut rather nicely. But to use that close of an area of the blade, most of the time you're just getting pops and tears.
All right, but let's just head back. Let's head back to Boromir and the armor. I think that's enough. The blade still works, basically.
Yes. I reckon I won that one. What do you reckon?
I don't know about that. I mean, do you want to go for another couple of rounds? We've already done it now. I'm sure those guys wouldn't mind seeing more carnage.
All right. Before we end, let's go ham.
Let's see if we can break the sword.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, yeah.
It's okay, bud. It's okay. He's not going to hurt you anymore.
Tyrant,
Boromir!
Hey.
Tyrant.
What's up?
Has there been something you've been wanting to get off your chest? Some anger issues you wanted to work through?
I feel like he's good now.
Yeah.
I feel like he's good now.
How do you feel?
Don't blame me that I love my job.
Yeah. Didn't get through a thing. We got some more scratches, but
I mean, why don't we add in the caveat that like all of those strikes would have tore his arms off and stuff?
No, I wouldn't know.
I don't know. He's looking pretty worse for wear now.
This does raise a question.
Did I do that?
Yes.
This is a good job.
Thank you.
Some stretches.
Just as a note, this leather belt would be cut through so easy. You have to give credit to the armor angling and the armorer. as well for this, which we have this in a previous video.
Does make me wonder if you could break like bone, an arm, through gambeson and chainmail. We might have to test that. We need to get like an analog for a human arm and see if we can actually break bone just striking, but we need meat on top of it. That future content, right?
We can do that, perhaps,
we can do that.
if you guys want to see that.
Yeah.
I just realized my hand was like, because we were just talking about the belt, my hand has just been sitting here
Yeah.
with Boromir.
Stop doing that. Stop doing that. Yeah. But I think like
Yeah, I think this is
Nothing got through.
Nothing got through. Like Katana is nearly useless against some proper, even half decent medieval armor.
Yes.
That's the reality.
if you want to get through the mail, we know use a really, really pointy sword and you'll...
Yeah, not just a katana. We're talking about Kriegsmesser, Falchion. The only thing that has a chance is a really pointy sword, like a really pointy thrust-centered longsword.
Or something big and heavy that's going to collapse this armor
Yes.
and break bones, like
Yes.
a mace or a halberd or something like that.
Because we have seen a really pointy longsword destroy this chainmail.
Yes,
Get
and
through,
we've seen the Beck cave in, things like that.
and video right there. So the one where we test medieval weapons versus chainmail.
We're going to need like an armor testing playlist. at this
You
point.
will.
Like,
you will.
we've got
Like,
so
guys,
many.
check out because there is stuff that can get through his chainmail and see it right there in the video. Hope you enjoy it.